Evening everyone and welcome back to YTCSC, YouTube's Celtic Supporters Club. My name is Mark Campbell and I am your host. Short video tonight because I'm about to go and coach the wee man's football team. We've not been on for a few days, not covered anything to do with the shambles in Kazakhstan. And we've not spoken anything about the hammering that Rangers got yesterday. Before we do anything, please, if you can subscribe to the channel if you've not subscribed. Great news is we hit 1,000, right? But Celtic have stole the joy. They've stole the joy from my soul with the nonsense that's going on and us getting put out the Champions League. So we've been dying to get to this 1,000 for so long. We got there and Celtic going below it. But well done and thank you to everyone that has subscribed and got us to the magic number. Before we get into it then, we are looking to try something a wee bit different. We want to hear the voice of the fans, the voice of yous. So we've got 1,000 people now. What we want you to do, if possible, is if you are in a pub watching the Rangers game, if you get to go to the game, if you're sitting with your family, whatever you're doing, do a wee recording after it and email that recording, either just a voice note or a video, to the email address there. And what we can do is we can play that just to let people know what everybody was doing and what everybody was seeing. Whether it's positive, whether it's negative, it doesn't matter. Let's get a little video or a little voice clip in from anyone. Paddy, it could be you. Get that lovely Irish accent on. Porky, it could be you. Anybody at all. Let's just get a wee video or a wee voice note in, and we can try and do that every week once we get a few games on the road. Okay, let's get into the video then. So what we want to talk about today is the shambles that is Celtic. The board setting the team up and the fans up for a big fall. The team that should have qualified for the Champions League, really we should have, no matter what the board done and what the board didn't do. The manager that should have got us to the Champions League, whether he was given any more players or not against Kairat, we should have beat them with our B team, really. The embarrassment that is Rangers, they just keep stumbling from mishap to mishap, which is conveniently good for our board. I'm going to be a bit controversial, and it's not conveniently good for Celtic. Idah to Swansea potentially, Yang to Birmingham, and then Majowski to Rangers. So a lot to get through in a very, very short space of time because I need to shoot and get the wee man to his football. So, as I said, thank you for the everyone that subscribed. 1,000 subscribers, so amazing and really happy. But Celtic stole the buzz from my soul by us getting knocked out of the Champions League, and I think that's where we'll start. In fact, we'll start with the last option to let people know. Look, Calmac Wallet, free to anyone who comments their name. We've got about 35 people in it, so somebody will be picked on Saturday. I'll get your email address and send that on. So Celtic, the shambles that we are, let's be perfectly honest, and I'm not being too negative here. I'm not going to be trying to shine a positive light on it. I'm just going to say it as is and how I feel. We are a mess. We have let ourselves down badly, and it's not the first time we've been in this situation. It's a rinse and repeat job for Celtic. We have been here so many times before when we know we should be beating the team that's in front of us and we don't. No matter if it's penalties or not, we should have done them in the first leg. We should have beat them in the second leg. We should have beat them in both legs, Kairat. But that is just not good enough. It's not good enough as Celtic players. It's not good enough for the fans. It's just a shambles is the word that I'm going to use from top to bottom. It's not. I don't think there's one person to blame here. There's quite a lot of people to blame. yes, the board have made an absolute back end of it. They did, and we'll talk about that now. Actually, they have set us up for a fall. They have to take the brunt of it, in my opinion. I watch a Celtic State of Mind quite a lot, and I think the boys are brilliant. Paul John's really articulate, and the boys that are on with him are great as well. I also watch Celtic Fans TV, and I was watching the aftermath of the Celtic game on Celtic Fans TV, and the boy that was on had a right rant, and fair do to him, these things happen, but he was calling for fans to demonstrate now, and to get outside Celtic Park. I agree. I think we should now. I don't think we should let the board off with this, and it's very difficult to hold them to account. But I think we need to let them know, and we need to let them know with our voices, and no aggression in it. Just let them know with our voices, inside Celtic Park, outside Celtic Park, until something changes. Something has to change. The board should have been on the front foot and going and getting these signings in well before this Champions League qualifier. And who knows, we could have got through. For me, the front three they're just awful. Idah, waste a jersey now, right? I would let him go. I would drive him down to Swansea. Maeda, what has happened to him? I have no idea. And Yang, again, I would take him down to Birmingham. Forrest just didn't cut it in the leg in Kazakhstan either. So the board have got a massive part to play in this. They've let Celtic down hugely. And it's time for a change, I think. I think it's time for a change. I think they've done well to get us to where Celtic are. But we need more guts, and we need more invention, and we need different people to come in. People like Don Mackay, I don't know why you get the bullet, but I'm pretty sure it's because he went in and shook the apple cart and had a few different ideas. But we need people to come in and see that there's a heavy bank balance there, and think, right, okay, we should have 2 top strikers, we should have 4 top wingers. Go and spend that money and get us into the Champions League, and let us have a run like Brendan did last year. Get into to competition or games like we did against Bayern Munich, and have a chance to qualify and give the fans what they want, which is good football and excitement. So for me, the board have got a lot to answer for. I think the conversation that people are having right now is who's to blame. At the top of the list for me is the board. No doubt about it. The board are top of the list. The next thing is the team. The team that we had on that park were good enough to beat Kairat. The team that we had on that park were good enough to beat Kairat 100%. They bottled it. They bottled it in the first game, and they bottled it in the second game. And that's just not good enough. That should be your biggest game of your season to that point. Some of them biggest game of your careers. Go out and absolutely go to town. It was the worst game I've seen. And I didn't get to see it all because I was coaching the wee man's football, but I've seen extended nights, and I've spoken to the boys about it, and they were awful. Maeda bottled it again, clean through in the keeper. I don't know what's happening to this guy. He went from an absolute world beater to bottling shots that he should be just beginning and beating the keeper with. But that team have let Celtic down also. They're undefensible. Like, I know people will be saying too negative, but where's the positive? Where is the positive in the board? Where is the positive in that team performance? The team performance was awful, and they boys should be sitting in that dressing room after the game, or they should have been holding their heads in their hand, feeling pretty damn ashamed. All of the people that travelled over to Kazakhstan, and that's what they got. All of our Celtic fans waiting to see what could happen, and that's what we got. The third person I think we need to talk about here is Brendan Rodgers. He's not getting off scot-free. I think he was let down by the board. I think 100%. I think he was let down. You can't deny that. But he had enough in his locker to go and beat a team like Kairat, who are so far down the list in the UEFA rankings. It is unbelievable. It was like playing against a low block at half the time, right? We should be used to that. We should be used to going and breaking teams down and being able to actually have the energy, 1-2 touch pass, get the ball forward quick. That never happened, and that's down to tactics. And I don't know what he's thinking, but he has to take his share of the blame. He has to take his share of the blame. So for me, the top of the tree is the board. Them are looking at the players and Brendan and the players. I don't know which order to put them in. But the manager's been let down with the board, and the team have been let down by the board and potentially the manager with the tactics, or the manager's been let down with the team who just absolutely had a bottle job. I don't know. It's not a video I wanted to come on and do, which is why I've left it so late. But we need change at Celtic. We need change at the top. I'm seeing now that we're away out trying to buy 4, 5, 6 players. It's too late. The horse has bolted. We're in the Europa League, which is probably the level that this team are at. I don't even know if this team are actually Europa League level. We need to bring players in to even cut it there. But the horse has bolted for and do you know what? Another thing, see this 40 million chat. I do not care about the 40 million. I have got no care in the world about it. I want to see us play good football. I want to see us have good football players. I want to see us progress in competitions. It'll have to be the Europa League this year, but it should have been the Champions League. £40 million means nothing. It should mean nothing to Celtic fans either, because the money just sits in the bank and does absolutely nothing. Not until we get knocked out of the Champions League and the fans started to go a wee bit mental. If the board went out and started to push players like Balishwika to come into the club, this should have all been done well before now. Okay, we all know about that anyway, right? But that was just my feelings on it. Next on the agenda is the embarrassment that are Rangers. 6-0 pumping last night is awfully embarrassing, and 9-1 overall. Russell Martin under heavy pressure. I think almost every Rangers fan wants him gone now. And I'm going to talk a wee bit about, I think Celtic, and people will need to listen to how I'm thinking about this. I think Celtic need a strong Rangers. Why do I think Celtic need a strong Rangers? Because your board just sit on their backside when that team bumble themselves from one mistake to another mistake to another mistake, and they just think it's okay. We're just ahead of Rangers. They need something to actually give them if it's this Celtic board that are going to change, they need a Rangers team that can actually come up and make us go and spend money, make us go and become a better team, make us go and buy better players, because right now it's not happening, and the board are just sitting on their big pile of cash looking at Rangers, laughing at Rangers. And as a direct impact, Celtic are a weaker team because they don't feel the need to actually go and spend money on better players to become a stronger Celtic. So that's why I think we need a strong Rangers in Scotland. It's to help push our board and to help get that board to get their finger out, to give managers like Brendan Rodgers a chance to actually create an elite team. Whether it's Brendan Rodgers or not, I doubt it will be next year. I think he'll be off, and the board will probably downgrade to a manager that will be a yes man. We'll see. We'll wait and see. But Rangers are an embarrassment right now. I think they will sack Russell Martin in the next couple of weeks. Let's see what happens. I don't want that 6-0 and Rangers getting the pumping that Rangers got to take the not the shine, but the light off of what's happened at Celtic. And Brian made a good point. He said if Rangers get pumped, which they did, it's going to ease the anger at Celtic. And then if Rangers lose to Celtic on Sunday, again, there'll be another pile of people that are like, oh, it's okay. That's not okay. Even if we go and beat them 5, 6, 7-0, it doesn't matter. We are still in the same place. We're still in this horrible cycle of being on the cusp of being a really good team, being on the cusp of being a really good club and not quite making it because the board are absolute bottle bags. So, Rangers did get embarrassed. They're out. We're both in the Europa League. Let's see how that pans out, and let's see how it goes. We do have Rangers on Sunday. I'm not even going to say that we're going to battle them, because in my head I thought we were going to beat Kairat 4-1 at Parkhead. Didn't happen. I kept my powder dry for the away leg, but I did think we would go over there and score 1 or 2 goals. Didn't happen. I'm not saying a single thing about this Rangers game. I'm not thinking a single thing about this Rangers game. We're 6 points clear. If we beat them, we go 9 points clear. let's see what happens, and let's see if Mr. Martin's in a job after that or not. Couple of bits of transfer news. Idah to Swansea has reared its head again, and I was reading that Swansea are quite keen. I would actually drive the man to Swansea, and I would take 4 million for him. I would take 4.5 million for him. Take half the money. I don't care. I want him out now, and I want him gone because he's not Celtic quality. I've backed him for so long, and I'm at the point now where I'm just like, cut our losses, sell him, and go and spend the money on another striker. Celtic have got to identify strikers 5, 6, 7 million. They have to have done it. There's got to be players out there. I'm reading that Swansea are willing to pay good money if you can get your money back. They need their heads seen to. But if you can, go out and sign another striker for 9, 10 million. There's got to be strikers that Celtic have identified. Sorry to say that to the people that still back Idah, but for me, he's done. He's not got a future at Celtic. He's not Celtic quality. He showed it in flashes last year, and you've seen some of the goals that he scored. Fantastic, done it in the Champions League. His head is away, and I don't know why. So we'll get Yang also on the Birmingham radar, which again I would drive the man to Birmingham. I would get him in the car and take him down. If we can get a decent fee for him, go and spend that on another winger and see if we can get a tune out of them, because we do not get a tune out of Yang. Once every 3-4 games comes on as a sub, he shows it in flashes, but I'm done with this boy and all. I'm thinking it's time for Yang to move on, get the money for him, 3-4 million, and go and spend it on another winger and just bring somebody in fresh. Final thing for me then is Rangers have signed Majowski, are about to sign. They've agreed a 4.2 million fee, something like 2 million up front, 1.6 million add-ons and blah blah blah. I'm okay with that, because if Celtic had signed him, I'd have been a wee bit pissed off, because I don't think he is good enough to be your main striker. So let's see what happens when he gets to Rangers and he realises how big a mistake he's made, hopefully. So I know that was a wee bit neg and early, but we are a bit of a shambles right now, and every fan knows it. But the board need to continually be told this is not acceptable. It's not acceptable what we're seeing and what is happening at this beautiful club of ours. But they need to be told, either back Brendan in these last few weeks, or the man will go. And some people might think Brendan's time is up anyway. I don't. I think give him the money, get good players in, and he can take his places. I think if we get a really good run in the Europa League and we get decent players in, it might just give him something to think about. But at this minute in time, I think he's packing his bags, and if he's bought his house, he's got it up for sale, or he's telling the letting agent, look, I'll be handing my keys back at a certain time. Anyway, listen. Video over. We thank everybody for the 1,000 subscribers. Really, really appreciate it. We will do a video. Brian's come up with some stats that are really, really interesting on all of the signings that Brendan Rodgers has had in his time. And I think you'll find it really interesting, actually. We were chatting about it the other day. Brian's going to put it together, and we're going to do a video maybe Saturday night, and we'll get it to you on Saturday night. And it's interesting to see. I'm not going to take too much, so I'll let Brian take it and run with it. But tune in Saturday night for that. That'll be one for us to have a wee chat about as well. Okay. So listen, a bit negative, but it's just factual. Let's catch you on Saturday night, and then we'll go and battle the Rangers and see where that takes us. Hail, hail.